to decide who goes through to tomorrow's semi-finals and ultimately potentially into the finals. It is Rain in red, BONKS in green. Rain, of course, are the EU number ones, BONKS the NA number twos. They are 1-1. Rain are here in red with Montana, Conqueror, triple Des Moines, Moskva, so 4 radars, double Gearing and Kleber. So they've dropped that massive Kleber lineup. So we'll see how they do. SeaRaptor, you have the BONKS lineup?
I was just getting my lungs all warmed up for Lamar Siez again, and here we are. Sad face. Opposing Rain from the North spawn in green, and we have BONKS with Ohio Yamato, triple Venezia. We haven't seen that this much to this tournament. A single Moskva, Gearing, Z52 once again, and Todd Howard's in a Shimakaze.
Yeah, we've seen that Z52 used on that B cap many times on several different maps, actually. So Whale Biologist has certainly been super useful in this Z in previous games in the series. So we'll see how that goes against Gangbarang in the Kleber.
BONKS is not the only NA team that has really embraced Z52 for certain maps, and it's a thing that I've kind of pondered for years about King of the Sea, right? Like Z52 has got all the tools to be a really superb cap contester on certain maps. On certain maps, she's just not any good, but on certain maps, she is. And we started to see more teams kind of buying into that this King of the Sea. Certainly Star Brazil over on NA, and then of course we've seen it now both out of SCCC and BONKS just today.
Yeah, I think particularly on those maps where you have a cap in, sorry, an island actually in the cap, particularly in the middle of the cap, where that hydro, which is quite a big hydro if you think about it, you know, it's 12 kilometers across from side to side. It's going to enable you to actually hydro any destroyers that push in, but also screen torpedoes for any cruisers and things that are sitting nearby. Okay, you've made someone's been whacked sound. I missed it. Where is it?
No, the Yamato blind fired Gangbarang. That was who's Yamato? Is this probably Marin? No, Apache. He blind fired Gangbarang and took about 4K off of it.
Nice.
Right there at the beginning of the match.
Big grin for Apache. There's actually torpedoes coming from Whale Biologist. Gangbarang, of course, will just accelerate. It's a Kleber. That's going to be no problem.
Yeah, it's just a Kleber.
Yep. Another destroyer probably would have taken one of those, but Kleber able to just move out of the way.
Moskva radar followed up by Montana HE from Dastert pushes Whale Biologist back off the cap momentarily. He does take a little bit of pain here from Gangbarang and the Conqueror. That's Malamu. Also got shells coming in, but Whale takes a little bit of chip damage.
Now, at this kind of level with these kind of teams, with Rain going ahead a few ticks on this middle cap here, even if Whale Biologist comes straight back, could potentially win them the match, because ultimately these teams might walk up on the points, you know, hand in hand. And having that early lead is, it's not an insignificant thing.
No, it's not insignificant, and it's something that we on the NA bracket we saw 07 successfully execute. I forget it was the last King of the Sea or the previous one, but basically in an era where many teams had migrated to double destroyer lineups, they consistently brought 3 destroyers, game in, game out. They might swap them up a little bit, but 3 destroyers, and every single game, 1 destroyer went to each cap without fail, and it was simply a matter of forcing the opponent to react to the fact that if you bring 2 destroyers, you're going to start behind us on points, and then it's on you to do something about it.
The 2 Rain Des Moines in the smoke here underneath the A cap are going to have to deal with this wall of torpedoes that are coming from Todd Howard's. But Sheep just scouted the outer edge of them, I think, so they will know they're coming. One of them is probably running a hydro. Yep, they just don't even have to move there. They just slot into the gaps.
I'm going to be really curious to see how BONKS deploys and what kind of work they get out of the triple Venezia lineup. Because on NA, we saw some teams very commonly run a single, sometimes double Venezia, but triple was not normal. We actually had some matches where Venezia was the ban, right? That was the banned ship.
Talking of Venezia's turret bonk is about to take 2 torpedoes potentially from the gearing. Yep, that's 1, that's 2. Landing on the same spot, maybe a bit of saturation coming into effect there. Shells out from Azure in the Des Moines onto Bonk, who I assume just damage controlled. Yep, you can see the DCP running there with the new animations.
I love those. Makes our lives so much easier.
It does make it easier. Rather than having to go, did they DCP? No, they definitely DCP'd. You can see it running.
Yes, no, it absolutely happened because we watched it happen. Looks like they've got Todd Howard's radared again.
Need to be really careful here. Todd is heading towards this island. We've seen destroyers come unstuck here, trying to like kite away and getting stuck.
He's trying to reverse now. He's got a gap in this gearing salvo. It's just a question whether or not he finds it or not, because he doesn't quite yet know those gearing torps are there.
Yeah, dodging in reverse is not quite so easy.
No, it's not. I've made many mistakes with my rudder dodging in reverse.
Okay.
5 minutes gone, and Rain out to an early lead here. They own the A cap and the B cap. BONKS finally bagging the C cap to stem the bleeding a little bit.
Shimatorp's second wave just arriving, going past the gearing now of Rain. Yep, no problem at all there. And both Des Moines, I think, are safely... Yep, they're both safely outside, no problem. Gangbarang in B actually shelling over towards the gearing of BONKS over in Charlie.
I think, for me right now, the single biggest surprise of this match is that they've successfully kept the Z-52 of all ships out of B.
Yes. Absolutely. I think well, just is going to really want to try and get back into that cap, but it's the combination of the Moskva radar and then, but also Gangbarang's torpedoes just constantly going towards that corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kleber can just do little circles, and that makes the reload significantly faster with the two sides.
Some of it is, in my opinion, that Whale continues to reverse into the cap, whereas if he had gone bow in and kind of dived into it earlier, he would have had an easier time getting in. But the fact that he keeps trying to reverse in means that they'll catch him, he runs away. He can get away easier, but it makes it harder for him to get into the cap. It takes way too long to reverse and actually get onto the capture area.
I think you're right. I think maybe he'd be better off actually going up, doing a circle, and coming back in nose first and just running for the island.
Yeah. At this point, I think so.
Okay.
They do get Todd Howards into A, though.
So Whale Biologist will see probably that torpedo go past the nose, and will then know it's safe to you can just reverse now. So
his hydro is up, so he's good.
So Whale Biologist, I'd be surprised if he doesn't reverse all the way to the island, to be honest.
Now, Gangbarang may be in a bit of a pickle. Is he going to sneak away? Barely again.
Barely.
Right under the keel. Woo!
Okay, Whale Biologist is completely safe from the torpedoes of Gangbarang now. Able to just carry on reversing back, but of course Gangbarang will block. Gearing against Shima.
Oh, they've caught Todd Howards out in A with a couple of radars, at least one radar from the Des Moines. See, and he's barely in range of Willis's. He's going to sneak away. They're going to chip some more damage off him before he does.
Yeah, this double Des Moines is pretty dangerous for this Shima. It's only 10 kilometers, but they've got the smoke screen from the gearing to be able to push up.
One of the weaknesses of the BONKS lineup that we're starting to see is that they only have one radar. They're totally reliant on the radar and Whale Biologist Z-52, and that's the only forced spotting that they have against these Rain destroyers.
BONKS actually pushing Hattie's Ohio into B.
I saw this, yeah.
I wonder whether this is to free up Whale Biologist. Could be. Hattie can just sit behind this island here.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you're Gangbarang, what do you do? You just charge this guy, right? I mean, what is a French destroyer like better for lunch than an opposing stationary ship?
Yeah, I think Whale Biologist is probably gonna go towards the island where Gangbarang is, if he's not already inside radar range. I think he is, yeah. Hydro range. Which is enabling Battleship Nagato in the gearing to be able to drop shells over onto Gangbarang.
It's a very, very even game as we're getting close to the 10-minute mark. Game's about half over. No clear advantage to either team.
No,
Rain on a lead, about 100 points. Go ahead.
Rain do have the points advantage, but it's one cap apiece, so that advantage is not going to increase currently.
Nope, it's actually going the other way because BONKS finally does bag B here. It took a while, but they got there.
But with Gangbarang so close to the cap, they're going to be able to keep blocking that cap if they want to.
Maybe. It's a risk because Gang's been taking fire from Addie's Venezia as well as Nagato's gearing while he's been on Whale's Hydro. And I think Whale's Hydro is down at the moment.
Artorias firing over towards Addie up on the 10 line. that range. Moskva not quite as dangerous as Stalingrad, but you still need to respect it. It's pretty accurate. Okay, Rain just basically stepping away from Alpha there. They've got the gearing still floating around underneath the cap after capping. The gearing and the Shima probably running the same detection. So they will be, if they ever spot each other, they spot each other at exactly the same time. Sheep running another smokescreen down for Azure to push back towards the cap, because Rain will now expect Todd Howards to push back to try and counter cap.
Gangbang now back onto B, contesting it, holding the lead open for Rain at about 50, 60 points, it looks like. But Gang getting shells dropped on him from Apache's Yamato yet again.
Yeah, as you say, like, there's only so long that Gangbang can actually do this.
Yeah.
Because every time that Klebera versus back, a couple of shells, a few thousand hit points. You can only do that maybe 3 or 4 times more.
Yeah, they're doing a great job of just periodically, every 15 to 20 seconds, they drop shells in there for Gangbang. Now, that particular salvo didn't actually connect any hits, but I mean, if they're full pins, that hurts on Yamato shells.
Meanwhile, Eagle in the gearing over on the C-cap is trying to just dip in and contest against Nagato from BONKS, but Azuki Thai is making that quite difficult sitting on that corner.
They are really all in on killing Gangbang. Nagato just dumped torpedoes down the channel there, assuming, I guess, thinking that Gangbang might pull forward a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Gangbang doesn't have to go very far forwards to be in danger of taking those, and those are pretty long-range torpedoes, so they definitely will reach.
Yes. I'm actually curious if they want to try, if they will try and time it with Z-52 torps to kind of push him out there, but they don't.
Yeah, Gangbang actually running all the way off the island there, so definitely a risk with these torpedoes. There is a nice gap. Gangbang does not know that they're coming just yet. They'll be spotted any moment now.
He's going to have to turn to avoid these. It looks like he does have a gap.
Should be okay.
Yep, he's good. He's got it.
Good plan there, though, from the
ship
game.
handling.
Okay, let's take a look at the points. So we've got 724 points for Rain, 6 minutes 54 on the points clock. And BONKS just behind, 842 on the points clock, 654 points.
Still a very even game. Lulu getting very low over on the 10 line. Can they see him? They can. Hattie just took a salvo that didn't land. Lulu's trying to heal up. Lots of fire going down range looking for Lulu.
It's the kind of game...
BONKS wants this kill, man.
Absolutely. This is the kind of game where it's so close that both teams are kind of just waiting. Rain, obviously, are on the defensive. But if BONKS just walk into all the caps, it can very quickly change.
Oh, they continue to have... Oh, my God. Nagato takes a massive hit from the Conqueror HE. They do bag Lulu, but it might cost him Nagato. Nagato's position was there to keep Lulu spotted. They do get Lulu, but Nagato's going to limp away on barely 1,000 HP.
Last few blind shells coming in, trying to find Nagato in the smoke, but not managing to do it. But I think if Nagato gets spotted again, that's going to be it for the gearing.
Once again, B contested. Rain clings to their lead, 20 points. They're the only ones kicking up points right now because they own A and they own C.
Yeah, Whale Biologist narrowly missing some torps there from Gangbang. I wonder how many torpedoes these two have exchanged, because they just keep... it's like playing tennis. One will throw, and then the other one throws.
They just put Akazuki's Moskva into C, but he's going to find himself just under a hail of HE fire from Malamu's Conqueror that he won't be able to sustain this position very long, I don't think.
Yeah, that's going to be a risky proposition with Malamu sitting there. I mean, 27k is a lot to play with, but if you start running, say, a double fire, and the HE pen is going to do quite a lot as well.
Addy takes a torpedo on the 10 line. They're trying to push Addy up to I think to get the kill shot on Eagle over here in his position. Either wait for him to get spotted or force him out with a radar.
Yeah, if if BONKS can trade the Venezia for the gearing, because of course Malamu will shoot Addy once, because they'll see the smoke screen coming down the 10 line. So Eagle is absolutely in danger, because Eagle has to either run forwards into the Moskva or is going to reverse into Addy. But then Malamu will get to choose who to shoot at.
Azuki's going to go out here in moments. He's getting shelled from several different directions. Lots of HE. Now Gangbarang brings in the Kleber AP into the fight as well.
Yeah.
I don't think BONKS can hold the C position. There's Addy coming up just out of the smoke, directly astern, assassinating the gearing.
So let's look at Malamu's position here. So Malamu aiming, yep, at Venezia. Nope, changing back to Azuki.
Whoa.
Shells
So
out.
close.
It's AP.
4 minutes to play. BONKS has a 60-point lead. At the moment, they are the only ones ticking up points, but it is not a comfortable lead or a comfortable position at all.
No, C is definitely looking quite dangerous here with Azuki on 4.7 and Battleship Nagato in the gearing on 1200. Even Addy down to 18k there. And very much in danger from Malamu at this range. Malamu taking another shot at Azuki in the Moskva. 3-2-1-9.
You know, I got to say, even if BONKS loses this game, they are leaving it all on the board here. They are just taking every risk that they think is necessary to win the game. They're going to lose Aki right here. They do.
And Rain have pushed universally across, so the only cap that they're not in right now is Charlie.
Well, and they can't get into Charlie right now, and Nagato is going to bag that. There goes Addy. Charlie's going to be able to, Nagato's going to be able to bag Charlie, but man.
Todd went down on A. Baobonk took a torp. So Rain just pushing through A and also blocking B here.
Rain keenly aware of the game clock. 3 minutes to play. They cannot end up on the bottom side of points at that time. And when it's close like that, a single kill can flip the clock at the wrong moment. We've seen it happen in King of the Sea. They don't want to take that risk.
So Charlie goes to BONKS, which makes it look like they are in a good position here. But of course, as soon as the gearing of Sheep caps A, you're going to see how long is left on the points clock. It's 4 minutes.
They're gonna have to kill this Kleber. Like, Gangbarang has been in this position all game. If they've got to get him off the board. They're blind firing Nagato in the smoke. They do get Dastard.
Oh. That's
a big kill. And they get Gangbarang. Oh, big kills for BONKS.
This is so close. It's 742 to 736. The Torps are going to continue and hit Torius, I think, maybe.
2 minutes to play.
Nope.
BONKS on a 6-point lead here. Both teams ticking up exactly the even number of caps.
They
think they're maybe trying for the Ohio here.
Yeah.
For the Moskva.
They really need to get Artorias. If they can get rid of this Moskva, that BONKS have B. There's nothing that can take it away from them. They have C. And so there's not enough time, really, on the game clock, which is 1:30.
Oh, so close.
I think
Artorias
struggling to move against the island here to get past this torpedo. He does manage it, but Z52 AP being
if they can bag
effective.
Artorias, this will be a huge kill. BONKS clinging to a 16-point lead. They need this kill. They're going to get it. There it is. They're going to lose Hattie, but they're going to retain. But they're going to retain their ship lead. Bam. Right there. So they're ticking up points faster. With 60 seconds, BONKS has a 30-point lead. And that is it. And there's no way, there's no ships. Rain doesn't have any ships in position to get on the caps and slow this down.
The only ships they can kill are not going to be visible. That's the problem. Malamu could easily kill the two destroyers, but just not going to see them.
They have to kill a ship to flip the lead, and there's no one they can spot. They can see the Venezia.
30 seconds remaining.
Oh my goodness.
I am literally
Baobonk takes a hit, but it's not
holding
enough.
my breath.
I know. It's so close. The Venezia is literally the only ship they can see. That's it.
But
15 seconds.
Venezia is so tanky, though. Even to Des Moines, it's going to take way longer than
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. BONKS is going to knock off the EU champion here, and they are going to move on to the semifinals.
Oh, what an upset. What
What
an
an
upset.
upset.
So we had an upset in the other direction earlier with
Indeed.
the NA number ones going out. Now it's the EU number one's turn.
Indeed.
So commiserations. I didn't think I was going to be saying that. Commiserations to Rain. But GG, that was an amazing series. Thank you to both teams for that best of three. That was very, very entertaining. So well done to both of you. But congratulations to BONKS, the NA number twos. They will be going through to the semi-finals tomorrow. And to tell you more about all the stuff that's going on over the finals stream tomorrow, we'll go back to Prague.